Howdy, I'm Captain Vile. So this is the captain's commentary, since it's not director's commentary, since well, that's not entirely accurate for this specific short I made, because my brother helped me make it. But I edited, I wrote, I starred in most of the roles. Um, but it's captain's commentary. I did the lion's share instead of just directing it. Also, it's alliteration. I quite like that. If you didn't know, I love stupid names for things, as evidence of the mid-up name on screen and the title of the short being Fake Estate Agent. Yeah, real clever, like 17-year-old me. Or something that was like, I think it was 18 when I made this. Speaking of being 18 when I made this, yeah, you may be wondering, gee, Captain, really striking when the iron's hot on this commentary. And to that, uh, my retort is, when in the history of this channel have I ever done anything when I should have? If you go back to the first series, and I do not count the 2 videos of me playing Halo Infinite as a series, the first, like, series on this channel, which was Hades, the first title is a year too late to hop on the bandwagon. So, yeah, not striking while the iron's hot is the norm of this channel, but there are a few short films I've made that I've do the commentary for the animations. I figure I want to do them for the live action stuff too, you know? I'm probably gonna focus on animation in the future, but I don't want to forget the previous stuff. And I won't forget Upname's first appearance. This is his second one. I'll get into like the scrapped plot line I had as we go through this, but uh this was probably the largest role he's had yet. But the so I've for those the up this security commercial, and it's like I didn't write anything down for this. I typically like to have little notes, but since this is so old and the Upname's debut is even older, this is all just from memory and improv. So it's not going to be that professional of a commentary video, but I mean, I just did a preamble defending myself for it being an incredibly late commentary. So what did you expect? But the videos on screen, or the what's on the to my 2 monitors there, is I literally like looked up royalty free CCT footage, and I think I just looped it. I think it cuts if doing that. I have like a huge issue of like this right here, the YouTube UI not going away. But anyway, here's this commercial. K didn't work. I'm gonna, God, why does K never work?
Hi, I'm Michael David Upname. Now,
A little late on the music.
robbery, murder, and even
Oh yeah, the stock
bankruptcy.
images.
Now,
I always
you
forget
will
I
find
used to have
thousands of
so many
cases
stock
of
images
negligence,
for Upname's
criminal
commercials.
cruel activity, and possibly entitled snobs who think they're too good to buy a goddamn vacuum. But I think
Oh, that was another. So this was pretty early in when I was writing Upname. So his personality wasn't that set in stone. And I think I'll address this now. Um, so this is the old design of Upname. Um, he's got his like shirt unbuttoned to the side, and he's got his like sleeves rolled up, and he's not in the suit. And another loyal violins may notice he's wearing a green shirt. Not the Upname Incorporated yellow, because it's this isn't.
robbery.
Where's the damn tag? There it is. This isn't green. No. So this shirt I bought for Upname, I bought online, and wouldn't you know it, I wanted to buy a yellow shirt. I had it all planned out. I already had his design. But the reason that for Upname's first two appearances, actually no, free, I'm pretty sure, because I used him for like a bit. Yeah, Upname, all of Upname's current live action appearances, he's in a green shirt because of false advertising. The shirt I bought was so much more yellow on the website, and it came and it was green, and I didn't care enough to complain and get a refund or order a new one. So that's just what he was wearing. He's wearing a green shirt instead of a yellow one like I wanted him to. But I think it kind of worked with his tie. I mean, it's the star glasses are a little out of it, if you ask me. But I just went on a huge. That again. Like nothing's written down. This is all improv because I just went on about. This started with his personality because of his like the entitled snobs, but he was previously like he mainly killed people if they didn't buy anything because it's he was a salesman who would always. Originally, he was a salesman who refused to take no for an answer. In fact, that was the like his first short was "I've got a deal you can't refuse." But that's morphed into a salesman who will always profit. And there's a little bit of that in this as I was like developing his character more. But I really early on I struggled with his personality because he used to be like I had this idea that would be ironic of him like wanting to get into high society. So he like studies various like he studies like classic literature and like plays and just becomes a learned man. And when he gets into like these higher circles, so they don't find out that he was like he came from nothing, and he came up with this like fake backstory where he like graduated in like a New York university or whatever. Like no, everyone stays away from him because he actually knows what he's talking about, and everyone else is just like pretending. So he's still like an outcast. Um, But I didn't think that like why would a salesman care about that? So I scrapped the idea of him like that's evident when he's shaking the hand of the guy later on. He gets snubbed. He takes it really personally. That used to be a big part of him was like I think he was pretty insecure. He was very vain and insecure early on. And later on he became more focused on like business because he's a salesman character. That seems a little important. But the people who are too good to buy a vacuum.
And even cases of organ harvesting. Now, many people think this could be due to either police negligence, increased criminal activity, and possibly entitled snobs who think they're too good to buy a goddamn vacuum. But I think it's
Oh, you see it? You just looped right there, the screen.
but with brand new Upfame Incorporated script.
This is another thing I'm pretty. I think this is a good bit. I should have made the borders on the highlight a little larger because it like cuts off right immediately. But I'm proud of the. Excuse me. 10 small payments of almost $10,000. And he's like, "You're not gonna get away with that if you say the price." He's just using this cheap tactic. I should have made it like less amounts because this is an absurd amount to agree to. Like you're not gonna he's not getting away with that. I should have made it maybe like two payments of 9.99 of 9.999. But I do like that he's using like a number as a decimal, but it's much smaller. And I never said the price. I never said it was 9.99. And that's how he gets away with it legally.
A top-of-the-line product, on top-of-the-line, if there was such a thing. A product
I think I don't think there's an origin for the Upname Incorporated slogan. I think I just came up with it on like a whim. I was like, what's a stupid thing he could say? And I liked it enough and it stuck around. Oh, another thing I want to mention. It's in the description of this video, but I didn't make this song. I made most of the other themes. They're like little jingles that appear throughout because Upname has like a theme. But I did not make this. This is Commercial Endeavors by someone, I believe their name is Steve something. It's in the description of this video. I didn't snub that guy. But I didn't make this song. I want to make that clear.
So discreet, not even you will know it when installed.
Oh, yeah, hang on. I've call 1-8. I think I tried to have it like a consistent number, because in his first thing, I think I tried to stick with 1572, because it was, I think it was like 1572 a new you for his like plastic surgery commercial. I'm fairly certain. Again, all from memory. This is like several years ago. But yeah, I tried to catch that on. I don't know if that's a real number that you can call. Apparently the organ harvesting ad I did for him, where like I'm for sale and you can like buy the rights to kill me. The current upname number, which is like 1-800 a bunch of sixes and fours, is like a real medical thing. I did that because it's like 1-800 upname Inc. But that's the fact that it's like a medical thing is so fitting for his character. But in the next 20 minutes, he'll even be informed when I'm in your home.
Just give me your address, and Upname's eyes will be on you.
And then, yeah, there's me playing this guy.
Security system.
This, I made that, my shitty keyboard, which has since broken. But yeah. I wanted to make way more themes, but I just never used the keyboard. It just sat in the corner of my room. And I still have it in my closet or something somewhere. I can probably dig it out, but the damn thing's broken, so it's really just like a. It's just a large object I have. But yeah, I made the whatever. I think he's watching like a game show. Whatever this guy's name was. That was another thing. I would always like name the characters, but only that would appear in the credits. Like they wouldn't say their name in the thing. I think Upname probably calls him Mr. Something. But there was like they'd have these elaborate names in the credits as like a joke. Oh, what's the worst that could happen? And then immediately cut to him getting robbed. I'm such a funny editor. I am proud of this. The music. I think I got a pretty good like early slashers kind of vibe with it. Because Upname is a slasher villain. Like he's got a lot going on, but I think the key like gist of his character is that he's a slasher. He would he like he'd be he's the villain of like an 80s cheap made movie that maybe picked off or maybe died in obscurity. But that's my my father's guitar. I like steal my own Switch. Hmm. And just leaves the door open. Oh, it's that was a bad cut on my part. But yeah, here's Upname. Here's Proto Eddie Wolfman is Upname's assistant, who is like they're not keyed into the fact that Upname's a criminal. And he's I'm now realizing I'm not doing the salesman voice. That's just my voice. I'm not really acting here. I'm just talking to myself off screen. For shame, past Captain Vile. Yeah, there was also there was so many scrapped shorts of featuring Upname. One of them was him like killing his assistant and getting a new one every time they're incompetent, as he threatened to do later on. This scene, because my mother loves her mirrors, I had to like as it cuts. I had to do so many, like, can you see the camera? Can you see the tripod? Because it's at like a certain weird angle, and like I had to stick the legs on something so the legs would be diagonal in a certain way so they wouldn't show up on the. For just, I could have taken them down, but I did want to have Upname like looking himself in the mirrors. But there's just so many there. Another thing I'm pretty sure I didn't notice is there is a security system. Oh, that's another. Yeah, he doesn't use like an Upname brand like lotion. I did like that the security systems were in like the same area kind of. He just licks his hair and slicks it back. I think that was improv when I was going through it.
Excellent idea. Awesome. I want that.
And that drawer really is stuck in the house. It's like nailed shut. It's purely decorative. You can't see it from this shot. I don't think you ever see it at all. But it always bugged me in that house.
Keeps the deed to their house in the kitchen drawer.
So fuzzy.
Hmm.
Shitty camera. I still have this camera. It's the camera I use every now and then for like updates and crap that I want to record on OBS.
How quickly can you set up an open house? What? An open house?
Man,
Just
the river.
sounds easy.
There's a river. If you couldn't tell, right outside my house or my old house. Uh, I didn't want to. I didn't have a design for the assistant yet. I didn't even have a name, even though it is. I think maybe he does. I think he's listed in the credits as assistant, or maybe I had the idea to call him Eddie, but I don't think I came up with Wolfman. I think it was something else. But yeah, I didn't want to have him show up on screen, because obviously like I'm him. But I should have. Like the audio mixing is not great on this.
Hang on.
I think, yeah, that's my mother. The heart on the window, it like that stuck around for months after she like drew that heart. I didn't wipe it off though for the short.
Now tell me about this Officer Dan guy.
And that's another setup. So there was a sequel planned where Upname goes after Officer Dan's brother because he's trying to he's trying to bribe the like police into getting off his tail. But Officer Dan doesn't accept any bribes, and he's gonna be like, "All right, no carrot, you get the stick." But and that was meant to be in that house because there were a few rooms I didn't use, and that's when you were meant to see Eddie. They were gonna be in like a van. They were gonna be the getaway driver, and Upname was gonna like break into the house with power tools and kill them. And I don't remember if he just like wrote a message in the blood or if he just like the body was the message itself for Officer Dan. Um, but yeah, he just killed him because he didn't comply.
Bribe money, right? What do you mean he sent it back? Okay, fine. Can't bribe him, then threaten him. He's got a family or something? Wife? All dead. Anyone in his family alive? A sick brother, that's it?
Oh yes, he was in a wheelchair. I don't know how my dumbass was gonna do that. Rent one from like a hospital or something.
Miss Richards, how nice of you.
Doing the slick back hair again.
Miss Richards, how nice it is to meet you.
That was a bit of a jarring cut. And here's my brother.
He was very eager to sell this place. He hadn't had time to probably pack everything up. I'm not at liberty to discuss.
Who was not enunciating his lines like I asked him to.
Very eager to have this place sold.
Is there anything I should know about the house?
Yes, the walls are very thick. The
There's
neighbors
a
will not be able to hear any noise you make or anyone else makes.
yeah, that's something I quite like with Upname is his lines have this kind of hitman humor where Agent 47 is like, oh, he's disguised as like an ice cream man. He's like, oh, it's to die for. Everything he says or advertises has like a double meaning if you look into it. Like, oh, the neighbors won't hear you. The walls are thick, so the neighbors won't hear him like murdering someone. Or the tile floor is very good to get stains out of. They don't stick. So ooh, it's a crime scene. And even with like the security system is a front to break into people's houses, and so like when they're not at home. It's a challenge to write his various schemes and lines, but I think it's always fun.
The floors are all tile on the lower floor, very easy to get stains out of, and the windows are all cloudy, so no one can see in and anything that you're doing.
Anything I should know about the neighborhood?
There is a police officer. You may know him, Officer Dan. He doesn't seem to leave, and if anything goes wrong, he is right around the corner. Now, if you'll follow me to the living room.
I think you can, yeah, you can see it. You can see the camera there. We weren't as, uh, didn't try as hard to hide it with that one. Another thing is I think I added several scenes. I didn't intend it to be 17 minutes. I thought it was going to be like 11 minutes. But the showing off my brother the house section was so much longer than I intended it to be because I wanted to get all these lines I had written out and various like sequences of him
Officer Dan,
like almost killing him.
he's looking for that crazy salesman.
Well,
And that's another kind of like that's another change of his character is that Upname is like actively being hunted by Officer Dan. Whereas like nowadays Upname he's akin to the Penguin. That's a loose connection, but like he's known as a legitimate businessman who's probably a bit shady, but no one really looks into it. And is also like if you want something in the criminal underworld, you go to Upname to get it. He's got like several businesses. He sells like chainsaws and like acid to dispose of bodies and whatnot. But he's also like he takes the acid from like his cleaning product line or something. Whereas like I just said here, he's like there's police sketches of him. He's like so it's kind of known there's a killer salesman, but it's not known that it's him.
you never know who's crazy until a knife is in your back. But yes, I believe he's hunting
Oh,
someone.
and he's insulted. People think he's insane.
Wide, spacious area. Once again, the foggy glass window, so no one can tell where you are or what you're doing in the room.
Where's the lampshade?
Um, that is a rustic new look in the architecture scene. I don't expect you to know this as you aren't an architect.
You should not have gotten away with that. You walk. I don't care how tired you are after work. You're gonna notice if a door closes in front of you.
What the hell was that?
And when you look at the
I'm sorry about
camera,
that, Mr. Richards. That was a way to get you to appreciate the thickness of the walls. You couldn't even hear the neighbors, could you?
No.
yeah, the neighbor's opening the front door. And there's my shoes.
And who the hell just walked in?
Us, Mr. Richards. We just walked through.
Well, I heard footsteps.
Maybe you should get your hearing checked. Now, if you'll follow me to the kitchen. Now, it's just down here. Bear in mind, there are neighbors, so please step lightly.
But you said the walls were soundproof.
When did I say that, Mr.
And
Richards?
he's just
Really,
gaslighting
get
him.
your hearing checked. Now, it's just in here. Good. Yep, wait for me one moment, please. What the hell? He is not meant to be here. He's meant to be at work. Well, he clearly isn't. Okay, I'll deal with this.
Look at the camera
I
again.
don't know how I'm going to deal with this, but I am getting new organs, whether it be from the idiot who owns this house or the idiot on the other end of this phone. Mr. Richards, here we have the kitchen.
I think that's another editing error. I'm not gonna go back and rewind it, but I think he's in different poses. Little things, I guess.
Easy access to knives. As you can see, Mr. Richards, the kitchen has all
Oh, he
the
does the lean
appliances
that he's
you might
kind of.
want in a home, such as
Yeah, Upname was like a more of a normal person here. I think, yeah, I think I've just definitely made Upname just like a stranger guy. But there's little glimpses of it. I mean, that was just like a pretty normal motion to do, like just leaning. But he certainly exaggerates his leans now in his poses. He does this kind of like twist, like a candy cane thing.
easy access to knives. As you can see, Mr. Richards,
You can see the
the kitchen
camera in
has
the
all the
window
appliances
reflection.
that you might want in a home, such as the pantry and fridge.
It seems to be stocked.
Oh, well,
This scene took
the
like
owner is in the
several, I
kitchen
don't know how
trying
many
to
takes,
move quickly and get
but
things sold.
like my brother kept looking over too quickly or something, or he would look at something for too long, but like I couldn't like give him a tell, or we probably could have made like a certain phrase be the stop looking at that, start looking at this, but I mean, stupid teen, not gonna plan it out that well.
Steam cooking.
Also, this is incredibly dangerous to be waving around knives by your younger brother. This is the part I didn't tell my parents I was filming. And there's a scene coming up that I didn't even tell my brother I was gonna do, but it was necessary for the shot, so I don't regret it. You can see the foot of the tripod just in that one, in the brown mirror. William Afton ass motion. Oh, that's another thing. I'm like, this is the first Captain's Commentary featuring Michael Upname, Michael David Upname. So it's gonna be pretty cluttered with various Michael David Upname trivia. But he's pretty inspired by William Afton. I mean, the FNAF like games and like Silver Eyes and stuff. Well, maybe not Silver Eyes, but like the I think just FNAF in general definitely influenced a lot of Upname. I mean, the Michael. I came up with MD Upname, and I needed to come up with an M name and a D name. So Michael comes from FNAF, and David comes from Penguins of Madagascar. I went with David instead of Dave to have Michael David Upname, so it's all this same syllables. But yeah, similar to he's similar to Afton. Not exactly. Different motivations. Well, kind of similar motivations actually, if you look into them. But that's a spoiler for some stuff. I mean, it's fine. But another thing I actually wanted to get into is I was watching, or when I was watching Five Nights at Freddy's 2. If you want to see more kind of like live action Michael David Upname, the scene where Michael Afton is like showing the like ghost detectives around, he's like that. His mannerisms are almost like one to one with how I envision Michael David Upname. It's like uncanny. I was watching it and I was like, what the hell? Like that's him. If he was like brunette, which he's here, like he's here now. That's another. Yeah, he's blonde in the art. But I mean, I'm not gonna get a blonde wig yet. That would probably look really uncanny. But oh well. If I want to do another one. Oh, that's another thing. So I'll get into this a little later. But there was meant to be. I don't remember if I scrapped the camera at like completely or just the night vision. I think I did. But this was rewritten to be less comedic and more serious in tone, and as well as much longer. And there was also a chase scene, kind of chase scene, in which Upname had a camera, because he does record or live stream a kill, like he did in the first one, but he he like cut the power, and he it was meant to be green like night vision camera as he's like hunting them, but the camera I got only has a flashlight, which with like with this, like, I'll say proto Michael Live It Up name. I'll call him Mickey Upname to differentiate them. So Mickey here uh isn't really in it for the thrill. He's not in it because he like just enjoys killing people. He doesn't enjoy the control killing gives. So he's not going to give his location away. So he's not going to use the flashlight to so that the victim like sees his cone of vision basically. And it's like a video game where they have a chance to get away. No, he wouldn't do that. He would opt for the night vision camera where they don't know where he is and he knows exactly where they are. But not Michael David Upname. He would go for the flashlight option to have a bit of sport in it because he's he's evil. But that was a scrapped scene as he's going after the homeowner. You can see the reflection.
Hello, you've reached Michael David Upname.
Yes, hello, this is James Normans. I recently purchased a security
James
system
Norman.
from you.
Oh, hello, Mr. Normans. How can...
Well, I'd like to refund the security system.
And why would that be?
Because it doesn't work. My house was recently broken into.
The camera.
I'm sorry,
And then a
Mr.
cut.
Normans, but I'm unable to give you a refund at this moment. There are some things I can do, but I do have to follow the contract.
What do you mean you can't?
I'm so sorry, Mr. Normans. I'm going to have to put you on hold now. We do have other customers waiting.
Always.
That, by the way, is this scene where Mickey is my mother's office. No. It's my parents' bedroom, and it's got like a part of it that is my mother's office. But that's a real, I believe, Egyptian knife or sword. Uh, that's like an antique that I I was considering using as a prop, but I don't think she'd allow me to do it.
Give you damn refund.
There's too much reverb on that. And also the huge phone. He's got so many phones.
Hello, you've reached Michael David Upname, MD. How can I help you?
Hello.
Also
I'd like to
MD.
schedule like a hearing test.
You mean a diagnostic test, sir?
Yeah, that.
Well, I'm sorry to say that I'm a bit busy at the moment, so I'm going to have to put you on hold.
Oh, yeah. I'll wait.
Nothing you can do. That... No, he mentioned something about refunds in the contract. Where did I put that contract? In the kitchen, yes.
Slinks back.
Hello, sir.
You're being
I'm
far
actually
too
who you
loud.
thought I was. I'm actually able to do that ear exam you needed.
Oh, yeah. Why?
Now, that's not important. I just need you to go into a very wide open area so I can hear you better. And you can hear me better. Living room, for example. Go to your living room.
Okay.
Go to your living room right now. Okay, sir, you're in the living room?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, to begin your hearing test, I'm going to say multiple phrases and see if you can
I quite like this
Please remain
joke.
quiet.
Okay.
Okay, the hearing test is going to start right now. All right, can you hear any of this?
He just doesn't do anything.
Hello. Wait, has the test started? Hello. Hey.
Man, your hearing must be really bad.
Just started.
I can hear my brother. I'm just tapping way too hard.
Police, there's someone in my house. No, I'm not sure who. I don't know how many. It's stupid. I bought this damn security system from Upname.
And that gets his attention.
Yes. I don't know how that matters, but Michael David Upname.
That was probably really dangerous running down the stairs with a knife. It's fine.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Richards. I'm sorry. We're going to have to reschedule the viewing.
Oh, about that. I don't really want to look at the house. But you're right about me being deaf. I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to do. I won't be able to listen much.
So you see how it's a fake knife here? Little retractable. And he's looking at the camera. You little snot. And it's a real knife here. There's, I guess that is Eddie, yeah.
Hey, boss. Did he buy the house?
Start the stream.
Oh,
Good lord, how many desktop icons is that?
all right. How are you going to film that?
I'll film it on my phone. Just do it.
Okay, yeah. Will do.
That's far too many past me. What the hell? I don't really think of this as Eddie. I think of this because I imagine other things as like it's not just like a one-man band and Eddie's also there. I imagine he's got like it's a whole production. This is like his IT editor guy.
Hello, everyone. It's Michael David Upname. Here with a...
This is the scene I said earlier where I didn't tell my brother I was going to do this. I didn't actually stab him. I just got very close to doing so. I told him I was going to do the stabbing with a retractable knife, and he was like, wait, you didn't stab me. I was like, yeah, I figured I wouldn't do the shot. And instead of telling him, I almost stabbed him with a real knife.
new badge for all of you who watch me harvest.
So he's doing a live stream. So originally, the assistant was meant to be like really into watching him kill people. That's why he took the job. But with the current version, as you can see, he's pretty squeamish. He turns it off. That's how I got away with almost stabbing my brother.
Tough one. There.
And you can still hear the audio. And here's like, that's like a melon I'm tearing open with my hands.
Decent condition.
But it was going to be like, I don't think you ever saw, you were meant to not see the editor's face.
There.
You were just meant to see his like smile as he kind of like got happier and happier listening and watching. Instead of him getting more and more uncomfortable until eventually I think he takes the headphones off.
There we go. We got that out. Tough one, that.
I reused Tough One That. I think I reused some audio clips here. There's the damn cop. From, I think, the first one, yeah.
I think that's all I have time for before the police show up. So, I'll see all of you next time.
Yeah, those are totally the same files.
Okay, where... Here we go. Fridge. He's got like an icebox in here. There we go. Sure, I could pull maybe a liver or something. You are coming with me.
This is my brother wearing the blue shirt, by the way. And there's Officer Dan.
Officer, is that you? Sir? Sir, are you alright?
He's pretty timid in this. I don't remember his personality being that.
Could you check on my brother in the living room? I saw him hide there. I'm not sure if he's alright.
I don't think they would do that in real life. I think they would just try and get you. Right to the I don't know. Maybe the police would comply. You can see me breathing here. No, wait, that's my brother because of the socks. But yeah, no, Mickey's efficient. I quite like that last. Oh yeah, I typically use Lemon Demon in the end credits of the past ones, because I was really into them as a teenager. But this is the Chalk Eaters, It Just Works. I'm gonna put on mute. But yeah, directed, and then my filming. This is now just probably stop talking about the short, and now I'm gonna talk about. Yeah, I've put all me. What was it, Jake something? Yeah, Jake Normans, and then Dan, and then now my brother Lyle Richards. Yeah, that doesn't matter. I don't think I mentioned my I played the, oh no, I did mention I've named assistant, and then it's I don't know why I did that after the sea of my names, but I do want to mention the the outfit that James is wearing. God, where the hell is it? Whatever. Just do the one on the couch. I can't find the damn thing. This works. So, a little deep cut of Captain Vile scrapped projects is the Garfield. Garfield's #1 fan. So this is the tie I got for that, and this is the shirt I got for the antagonist of that short to be wearing. There was like a Garfield themed character, Gary Fielders, and then a John Arbuckle themed character. I think just Jake something that sounds like Arbuckle. So it's like just combine their costumes kind of for that. Think anything else I want to mention? I'll mention the plot of the comedic first draft of this. It focused solely on Upname trying to sell a house while someone's in it, because that was the idea for the short. Upname selling someone's house while they're still in it, and he does like a viewing. There's no like murder in it. He just he does so he's just trying to like build interest. So he breaks into someone's house, he takes the deed, and he puts up a viewing. And then there's several scenes of him breaking into the homeowner's bedroom and putting on their clothes, pretending to be like a third buyer. So he gets one of them more, and he just tries to get the person who's viewing the house to think there's competition. So he buys the house faster or like on the spot. And I was like, well, that's funny, but I don't really know if I want to do that. It's kind of stupid. I don't know. I enjoy the idea, but I don't think the way I was doing it quite worked. So, I scrapped it and rewrote it in a bit more serious tone. Still some comedic moments, because I always prefer kind of like horror comedy. I wouldn't really call this horror. This is more like maybe thriller. That's even a stretch too. It's just got some dark moments. It's not really scary. There's another so this is the second version. I know I just mentioned that, but this is the second version of the second version, because I filmed a bunch more, but I didn't check any of the footage like a complete moron. I did it all in like one day over the course of 9 hours, and it was like unusable. I wanted more kind of scenes like this of me interacting with myself. I tried to film the entire thing acting as every character, so I had a bunch of like green screens and it didn't look very good because again, it's a shitty camera with shitty lighting, so it's all fuzzy. So that's why I got my brother to play the viewer, I guess, or the guy looking at the viewing or something. I don't believe there's any other trivia about this to mention. No? I really would like to be able to recreate the upnames theme. I think it was like E D F D something something something. I did it on my keyboard, and I'll see if I can. I'll see if I can't do it. I probably won't be able to do it from like listening to the things, but I wrote it down somewhere and then I forgot it. But it's specifically the violins. I put the keyboard on the violin setting and then did like that. Because I think strings work pretty well for upname. I don't know, they're decently, even though it's like, it sounds synth. Excuse me. But yeah, no, it's violins. So, yeah, commercial endeavors. Oh, whatever that is. Will it show up? What the? Oh, that was the last thing. I put myself last again. Not commercial endeavors by Steve Andoff. Some flashbang vine sauce. Whatever. Pretty long. I mean, I got 45 minutes out of 17. I stretched longer out of less. I'm good at doing that. But hey, I'm passionate about this stuff. I'll probably do I've got to do You Can't Refuse. I'll probably do some like school some film school projects I've made. I still got some I haven't even released in my files I gotta find. Did I spell endeavors wrong? Oh my god. Well, whatever. Thank you for watching, and good Vile.
Stay tuned to